we go. Okay, so that's what I want. Oh, hi, Randy. I am gonna go ahead and do some of the things that I forgot to do yesterday, like setting up and sharing to people that I am actually live. I do plan to be going longer than yesterday. Since yesterday was the first one, it was a test for everything. I really enjoyed it, and I felt like I was able to help you guys. So, I'm going to shoot for maybe 3 hours. So, thank you, Randy. I hope you have a good holiday. I hope you and the puppo found a nice place to spend the day. Sharing it around. Oh, this Discord chat is always a nightmare. There we go. Oh wait, shoot. I needed to put that in this one. It's my uncle's server, so hopefully he won't be mad at me for spamming. Oh, well, I quit after around the first hour, and I guess I probably quit off before you got back. That was a concern I had, but I wanted to go downstairs and spend some time with the family. My brother is visiting from the military, and I don't know when I'm going to get to see him again when he goes back, so we've just been spending some time together. Hopefully tomorrow I can get back to doing the daily oracles, because that is how I spend a lot of my week, is doing an oracle message for each and every zodiac sign every day. And that's where a lot of the I hate using the word fan base, but like, I hate using the word followers as well, but like the people that subscribe on my channel, a lot of them are there for the oracle messages. And I am hoping to get back to that tomorrow, because when there is a 6-foot tall lumbering tree ant in your house, you kind of have a weird energy going on. But I love having him home. Thank you, honey. Those done inside out. Grab this stack. Ah, okay, yeah. That's a good word for it. Sorry, I didn't exactly get what you meant by that, but yeah, supporters is a good word for it. Not so much. You could interpret them like that, especially if that was a question that you were directly going into the reading with. But, so like, tarot does not control or dictate your life. It's not telling the future. That's not exactly what it does. It's more of having know-how and direction for what to do next with your life. If you're struggling with something, you can go to the cards and say, Spirit, show me a sign that will help me get over what I am dealing with, or what is the root of this blockage that I'm having in my life. That is more what tarot and oracle does, is help you find your own way, because they're not telling you anything you don't already know. It's the egos that we have that tell us our power lies outside of ourselves and that we need a certain thing, certain item, person to feel powerful or to feel strong or to be where we need to be. But as it often comes up in the cards, you have all the answers inside of you. The point of tarot and oracle are to help you find and discern what those mean. And so, in reference of telling you where you need to be, I would simply say, what are your intentions for your life? Because that has a lot of sway. Yeah, oracles are so much fun to have, and it's so important to have a variety of them. Same thing with the tarot decks. Like, while the tarots technically tell the same story, the images are different. The energy that each deck carries is different, and they are applicable to different situations. There are certain ones that I will not pull out for a certain situation. When I need a happy, uplifting energy, I go to a certain deck. You're so very welcome, honey. And these are just my personal opinions about it. Of course, nothing I say is set in stone, but that is why it's amazing to go out there and learn and find more outs. Learn from different people, different readers, different perspectives about the whole thing. Because there are some people, like for example with the tarot, there are some people who do not use the minor arcana. They only read the major arcana. Or vice versa. There are some people who never use tarot and just stick to straight oracle. And that is the wonderful thing about divination in any form of any craft or power, is it's different for every single person. There's never a one-size-fits-all mentality that is going to shape how the entire world will see a situation. We're each standing at different points, having a different perspective, and instead of being so defensive and combative about that point, we can share our perspectives, share our thoughts, and collectively come up with a better plan, because no one person holds the answers. Thank you, Randy. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, got everything laid out. I'll have to remember to use you this time because I forgot to bring out the charms last time. And I was a little sad because I love using the charms. Where is Fire Stick? Fire Stick, Fire Stick. There we go. Yee. There we go. That's good, Palo. Spirit, please cleanse these cards, charms, and trinkets from any energy that does not seek to serve my greatest and highest good, or the highest good of the collective that I read for. Thank you, Spirit, for working with me. Thank you, Spirit, for working through me. Please help continue to guide me to deliver a message that the greater collective needs to hear, so that I may continue to be your warrior of light, conduit of love and power in this realm, and help deliver people to their own authenticity, to live and thrive in their soul shine and what makes them truly who and uniquely who they are. Thank you, Spirit, for working with me. Thank you, Spirit, for working through me. Thank you for aligning, and thank you for providing. I'm so truly blessed and grateful to live in your light and energy. Spirit may have the eyes to see, may have the ears to hear, may have the heart to heal, may have the throat to speak, and may have the wisdom to discern your message as it's needed to be told. Thank you, Spirit. I'm so truly blessed and grateful to live in your light and energy. I love you. Almost forgot to set up my crystal grid. I need those baddish boys. I probably should have done that before I smudged, but that's how we're doing it now, and we do not question our intuition. We just follow it because it knows more than we do. Yes, exactly. So I think I'm going to just go in with a couple of cards and see what Spirit has to say for what's going to be coming in for us today. I'm not really going in with any particular question. Oh, what happened to this card? Aw, you're warped and damaged. That makes me sad. Okay. Spirit, please, if there is a message to be heard for my collective, if there is a message that must be heeded, please make it clear, make it come out for me. Thank you. It was something that I got in Greenville for my 22nd birthday. That was a very special birthday for me. But it sat around for a full year before I started doing these. But I don't do a reading without it. Things keep coming out in threes. And I would like to take a card to start, if with just one or two, Spirit, please. I don't want to be grasping for too much. Or... Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Yes, I feel like there is more in there, but we're going to start with what we have here. Thank you, Spirit. So the first two cards that came out are the Queen of Cups and the Hierophant. I love these two ladies coming out together because Hierophant, as we were discussing in yesterday's live stream, is not only the major arcana that is associated with Taurus, that is the energy most closely aligned to it. I am a Taurus sun, so I love seeing this come out. The Hierophant herself is a priestess, is someone who is wise, has been led by the gods, and has more than just an intuitive insight and vision. She more like an oracle herself. If you remember in ancient Greece, the oracles were the ones who relayed the messages from the gods. Of course, it was very easy to manipulate that as humans. You could just plant one of your members as an oracle in that state and feed lies in that instance, but that might just be me playing too much Assassin's Creed Odyssey. A Hierophant, a priestess, they hold the keys. Keys to knowledge, keys to the future. And very similarly, that is in your instance. Oh, I am so sorry. I think I need some water. My throat just got very tickly. Okay. The Hierophant is a priestess, and they know more than most because of their connection to the divine. You also have the Queen of Cups. Now, cups is associated with water. Water is associated with our emotions and emotional self. The Queen of Cups has her emotions so in lock because she fills her cup up first. She takes care of her needs first and ensures that she is stable and she is secure before attending to anyone else. She has so much of the stability that comes with knowing your emotions and allowing them to be felt, because so often we suppress our less pretty emotions, as they're called, to just live in the blissful, fluffy world of the happier emotions. But to suppress one side of the spectrum is to suppress the entire spectrum. You're meant to feel all of those emotions. Rage as much as joy, happiness as much as sadness. They are a part of the human experience. And they're there for a reason, because those emotions tell and share a different part of our journey, a different part of our life, and something that we need to focus on. I mean, you remember Inside Out. I can't wait for the new movie to come out. So, something about our emotions and the insight that we can gain from that being paired with the Hierophant, especially if we truly allow ourselves to feel out the emotions. And when it comes to traumatic events, I mean, of course, there's going to be negative emotions that were attached to that, because there was betrayal, there was hurt, there was heartache, a sense of insecurity, fear. Fear plays a huge part into our emotions, and why a lot of us suppress it, because no one likes to feel fear. No one likes to feel afraid, because that makes us feel weak. And when we feel weak, we feel out of control. And I understand that. I mean, fear is a very shocking thing. It can completely stun you and keep you somewhere longer than you need to be, because you're so afraid to move, you're so afraid to keep going, or you're afraid of the change that's going to happen. But that all comes from the instability and imbalance from emotions. And the more you are aware of your emotions and why they're coming up in certain situations, the more influence they have, but less of an impact, if that makes sense. I think that's the best way I could phrase it. The more you know about your emotions, exactly, you can't see through boiling water. Hello, Jawo. I hope I'm saying that name right, Jawo. Merry Christmas to you too, love. We are doing a general collective reading. Knowing the roots of your emotions, and in a minute, love, seeing the root of your emotions and knowing where they're coming from is very similar to when you're doing your shadow work and the energy comes up. The root of the trauma gives you a name to it, and when you put a name to something, it has power, and you could also claim that power, take it away from the source that hurts you, and overcome that fear, overcome that self-limiting belief. Very similar energy with Temperance. She is literally filling her own cup up first before anything else. The traditional imagery of Temperance is a woman standing by the water's edge, 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the land. And she's balancing water between 2 cups. Balance is something you will hear a lot, especially in my readings. I hope I explain things clearly. Balance is the easiest thing to strive for, yet the hardest thing to achieve. Because, I mean, there's a certain imbalance of life. Of course, everything around us is uncontrollable. The only thing that we can control is our reaction to the situation. And the more awareness we have from doing the reactions in our situations adds to... I swear I go off on a tangent and forget what I'm saying. My point is balancing between your emotional self and your physical self helps you have the discernment and awareness to move forward in your life, because knowing the root cause of trauma and emotions prevents that emotions from carrying on into the next event. For example, relationship trauma. If you had a very bad relationship and when you try again, your next partner, without knowing what they're doing, is triggering you in ways. And I mean, without communication, nothing is going to be solved. And I don't mean just communication with yourself and your partner. I mean communication with yourself and your inner self, your inner child, your soul entity, whatever it is you want to call it. Communication with yourself, and not enough people do that. Not enough people like actually sit down in the quiet of their thoughts and begin to process where everything is coming from, because that's scary. It's scary to sit there in the quiet and let the thoughts come up, and you feel vulnerable, you feel afraid. And I understand, I have been there before myself. I am still doing that. But I promise you, the sense of peace that comes when you've solved that emotional trauma, when you've worked through it and healed. That's the only word to say, is when you've healed, you have more awareness, not only in yourself and how you react to situations, but you have more awareness to how people affect you. I've gone through this myself just very recently, since my brother's been home visiting. Is I've been getting very overstimulated because it's a relatively small house and he is a large person, and we were already at full capacity with my parents, my aunt, and my two dogs here. So, like, I've needed to step away from situations where I saw I was getting irritated and it was becoming too much for me. And it wasn't because I don't love my family. It wasn't because I don't want to be around them. I could just see where everything was becoming too much in me, and I wasn't going to be doing any good by being there. And so that sense of awareness comes with a lot of this practice, with a lot of this healing. And it's not going to be an easy road. God knows healing is not an easy road. If it was easy, a lot more people would be doing it. But I think a lot of people are also confused when it comes to their healing journey, because not a lot of people know how to really meditate, or that they can even meditate, or not a lot of people even know that this is an option to try to heal your life like this. We're just taught to go to school, go to work, get a medication if you're not in alignment, go see a therapist and pay a ridiculous amount of money for someone to tell you how so and so wronged you. Oh yeah, like, too much energy going on. I can't deal with it. That's why I have to go out so often with my headphones. I just put it on and push in and out of wherever I need to go. Because too much energy, especially if you don't put up the boundaries to protect yourself, you'll so quickly get overstimulated, and that's not going to be fun for anyone involved. So we're talking about healing today. We're talking about healing from trauma, it seems like. What does the Shamanic Medicine Oracle have to say about healing trauma, having balance and awareness in our emotional selves, and balancing ourselves? We have the direction of south, abundance. Now, abundance does not mean just money. It means you just have a lot of whatever it is. People can be abundant in family, abundant in personality, abundant in energy. Abundance can often mean money, and if that is what something that you were associating your stability with, or yourself with, or maybe you felt like you haven't had enough money in your life, that could lead to a lot of this emotional trauma and blockages that you're having, because our root chakra is the source of our sense of stability. It is the source of our foundation. And if that has been upset by not being provided with enough through our lives, or not being seen or taken care of, if there was abuse as a child, that upsets the root chakra. And that upsets your whole perception of every energy that follows after. The creativity and sexual expressions of the sacral chakra, the willpower and self-image of the solar plexus chakra, your abilities to feel apathy and love from the heart chakra, to speak your truth from the throat chakra. Whatever it is, it all starts at the root. That's why if you do chakra work, you start at the root, and you don't move up until you have work done on your solid foundation. You have the direction of west, purge. So something must be released. Okay. I'm going to take those as well. You have sea creatures, immersion, and cave, retreat that came out. Very dark night of the soul kind of energy going on. Because, like, even just look at the similar imagery here amongst the south and the cave card. The orange color in nature and the round portal leading you deeper into your journey. Into the immersion, as it states here in the sea creatures card. But this west purge card, I mean, so what they're calling in here with the south and the west are the cardinal directions, one for each of the elements. North is associated with earth. West is associated with air. South is associated with fire. And west is associated with water. So a cleansing, purging your emotions. Going back to allowing yourself to actually feel your fucking emotions. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream, scream. And then heal. Because all of those emotions, all of that trauma, it's still going to just sit inside of you, festering and continuing to... It's like when you have a splinter, and instead of going through the momentary pain of digging it out, it's healed over, and it has new skin over it, but that splinter, that source of pain is still in there. Apparently I am. That source of pain is still in there, and it's going to be worse and worse to get out the longer you ignore it. So you have to heal. And with healing comes fresh wounds, because you have to look at it from a new perspective. You have to look at it from where you are sitting now. But I believe you'll be okay, my love. What do you have in abundance? Spirit, I see that there is healing that needs to be done. Healing in association with emotions. Okay, thank you, Spirit, for giving me our cards. Oh, yep, I'm not surprised that you came out. So you have grief that came out. Tears are what happens when the ice of the heart melts. When you finally allow yourself to feel your emotions, you will just cry. And crying is what needs to happen. It does not make you weak. It does not make you less than. It does not make you a pussy. It makes you human. Too often we are pushed by society to not feel our emotions because it makes us look weak. It's actually incredibly strong to be that vulnerable, especially if you're a man, because men are constantly taught to not feel their emotions, suppress it and push it so far down that they can and never see it again. And then you get angry people that end up beating their wives and killing their children. And that's not healthy. Let yourself feel your emotions. Let yourself grieve the person that you once were, before innocence was lost, before something was taken from you, before you lost yourself. Let yourself grieve. You have individuality. Every person has their own personalized study plan in this Earth School. You have individuality. You have something that is unique and beautiful about you and you alone that has to be shared, that has to be taught to other people. And I'm not saying that you're going to get on your soapbox preaching about Talos Stormborn to the end of your times. I'm saying that you're going to teach people how to be themselves by being yourself. Truly, fully, and weirdly. Whatever it is that makes you who you are, do more of it. Share more of it. Because you're a bright, beautiful light that needs to be seen by the world. You have divine flow. Eventually, one sublime desire takes precedence over all others. To follow the Tao, the divine flow, at all cost. I didn't mean to card drop like that, but that was a little bit cool. Just gonna say that. Your healing will come from finally allowing yourself to speak your truth. Your healing will come from letting yourself be seen as you are. I feel like the divine feminine you were very blessed in that then, Randy. Most men that I have met and seen in my life, they don't let themselves feel their emotions. Yeah. It is a generational thing. This new generation, let people say what they want to say about it, are more aware of their emotions and are more aware of how bullshit society is. It's not lazy for someone to say, "No, I'm not going to do the work of 7 people and you give me the payment of 1." I actually know my value, I know my worth, and I'm going to stand up for myself, and you're not going to bully me into submission, depression, and addiction like you have the past 7 generations of this country. It's not people being lazy. It's people realizing the bullshit broken system that we live in. Sorry, that went off on a little something different. It's just a cool, salty savannah back there a bit. And see what the divine feminine energies have to say. Now, because there's a lot of healing going on, I certainly want to get the divine feminine, because a lot of this pain comes from the ambition and egos associated with the divine masculine. And the divine feminine energy is a lot more healing, is a lot more welcoming, a lot more nurturing. It will, and that when that tower falls, it will be a catastrophic storm. But every storm will come to an end. Mira Baya, the saint of true freedom. Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. I love that. If it is associated to a relationship that these issues are coming from, like you didn't see your parents had a good relationship growing up, or a relationship that you went through really hurt you and has made you mistrustful of other people, you don't have to be with someone else to be happy. And society shouldn't push it the way they do, because not every person wants to, needs to, or can be a parent. Not every person wants to, needs to, or can be a partner. There are some people that are better living their own life and going off on adventures by themselves. There's some people that genuinely enjoy that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think ultimately, at the end of the day, what I want from you is to be happy with the person that you see in the mirror. When you wake up, when you go to bed, when you're frazzled from everything seeming to fall down around you, you can look yourself in the mirror and say, I got this. I love you. Because that sense of self-worth, identity, and value is something that's very rare to find in today's world, when everything is copy, pasted, cut, and sold. But it does take practice. Individuality, having confidence in that, having faith in yourself, it all takes practice, because we can't just overcome trauma and the next day we're out there again. That's not quite how it works. It is a gradual healing process of learning what we will stand for, what we won't stand for, what we do like, what we don't like, and rediscovering who we are as an individual. Yep, you got to reprogram yourself. You got to take what resonates and leave the rest, is the phrase that I've often heard. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Even with any of this, if something that I say is like, that's kind of close but not really applicable to my situation, you don't have to take every part of the message as like exactly pertaining to you. You don't have to try to make it fit, and people so often do. And I get why. It's ego. It's every person thinking that they are the most important thing in the room. Because to them, they are. Because to them, they are the center of the world. Everything does revolve around them because that's their perspective that they're sitting in. And so often they try to make every sign fit into their everyday life. Sometimes a bird walking along the road is a sign from spirit, and sometimes it's just a bird. You'll drive yourself crazy going too far into even all of this, constantly needing the cards for validation and support. You're constantly going to be looking outside of yourself for the love and affirmations and acceptance that you need, when it should come from yourself. When you truly love yourself, when you truly trust yourself, you won't need to come to a deck of cards to know what's going on. You will know. You won't need to come to someone online to have them say that it's going to be okay, because you will know it's going to be okay. And I'm not saying you won't have hard days. I'm not saying you won't have days where there's nothing you want to do but fall into the ground and crumble. But you can't let yourself stay in that energy. It's fine if you stumble. It's fine if you feel like you need to fall apart. But staying in that energy, staying in that hurt and that stagnancy is what's going to trap you. Is what's going to prevent you from becoming the next most powerful, amazing version of who you're supposed to be. There are some readers who genuinely make me very happy, and they have an interesting perspective on things. I think it's because a lot of us just learn that life is bullshit and you have to find ways to be happy. You have to find ways to enjoy yourself. And it feels good to make someone happy. It feels good to make someone smile. I feel like I want to clean up this part of the message and tuck things away and move into the next part, because we've been going for about 40 minutes and I don't know if I'll do the full 3 hours like I was saying, but I definitely want to do like an hour and a half. So we'll see how we get along. Come back to me, bowl of ash. And fire stick. There you are. I don't have to hunt for you this time. And only good lies before me. I want to love and adore me. I am divine essence, finding power in the present. Relax, that's a fact, no worries. Taking my time, not in a hurry. Trusted my intuition. And love is my only mission. Let go, let your soul free flow. Let go, let hope flow. Let go, let love flow. This is my affirmation. Let go, let peace flow. Let go, let joy flow. Let go, let abundance flow. This is my affirmation. Yes, it is Palo. Palo is one of my favorite things to smudge with. And I'm currently out of all my dragon's blood and sage, so I've got a 7 sticks of Palo in my supplies, so that's what I'm burning with right now. I love the smell of it when it burns. Ah, shit. Fuck it, I forgot the charms again. You have to not let me forget you again, okay? Ugh. Randy, please remind me of charms. Okay, so... Spirit, thank you for that message about our healing and our emotions. If there is a separate challenge that we are going to face in the coming year, if there is another warning that we need to heed, if there is something... Okay, thank you, Spirit. The card that came out that Spirit wanted us to know is the Hanged Man. Now, while this may look very uncomfortable, this represented in the major arcana is about getting a different perspective. Literally, by not only flipping yourself upside down and seeing the world in a different way, but as the blood rushes through the head, energy rushes to the head. This could be a lot of inspiration and ideas. I want you to look at these 3 lines that are coming from the crown of his head. That is the Awen. And the Awen is the representation of the Cauldron-born or Caradwyn's power. Caradwyn is a Celtic and Welsh goddess. Yeah, the Hangman will do that to people. Caradwyn is a Celtic and Welsh goddess. She is someone that I personally feel very drawn to in my own energy. For the Hangman to come out as the general warning and thoughts that we have going into 2024, I would say keep your perspective open and willing to shift, because everything is going to change in this coming year. Oh yeah, no, spirit chills feel very interesting. Everything is going to change in this coming year. The who you are now sitting here is not going to be who you are this time next year. And that shows an amazing sense of growth in you, my love. But don't be afraid of where you're going to go. There's a lot to note in this deck about the little details. For example, this is a wishing tree that he is hanging from. He is hanging from possibilities, dreams, ambitions, and everything that things could be. Back there, floating on the river, is a carcle or a basket. And that comes from the story of Caradwyn and Taliesin, one of my favorite stories. The goddess Caradwyn had just been given birth to a son. And her son was born terribly ugly and misfigured. To help him in his life, to be powerful and to have purpose, she was brewing a special potion called the Alwyn, which was going to give him magical powers. And not eternal life, but prolonged life as well. She brewed this potion for a year and a day. And it was being tended to by a small boy from her village, Gwyonbar, because Caradwyn was a woman before she ascended to a goddess status. The day the Alwyn was finished, Gwyonbar spun the cauldron too fast, and 3 drops fell out of it, landing on his thumb. That he instinctively put the thumb straight into his mouth, and he absorbed all of the magic that was meant for the goddess's son. And she was not happy with this. And thus began the Great Chase, which ended in her eating Gwyonbach as he shapeshifted into the form of a grain of sand. And she, as a great black hen, ate him. 9 months later, she gave birth to Taliesin. And while she wanted to kill him, she saw that he was blessed with that symbol on his forehead. Instead of killing the boy, she let him go. Placed in that carcass, riding out to the sea to be discovered by a fisherman. That boy Taliesin grew up to be the greatest bard of all time. Bards carry history in their songs. They share magic. He saw the rise and fall of nations and wrote about it. And to this day is the reason that we have so many tellings of the old world. So the hangman isn't just about getting another perspective. It's about opening yourself up to any and all opportunities, especially when the goddess of inspiration is there beside you. Sorry, I don't mean to rant about Caradwin. I just really love her. She's so fucking cool. Like as an energy, as an entity and an individual, I fucking love her. But so 2024 with a new perspective, with a new mindset. What are we looking at? We have the Strength card that came out. Another depiction of the Alwyn right there. We also have Rebirth. And actually, I do believe that is Taliesin right there. Okay, so that's why I told the story. Because he was going to come out, literally, from that right there behind the tree all the way there. He's being reborn, giving a chance at his new life. I love that so much. I hope I wasn't holding that upside down. I might have been. Okay. That's a little cool to me. Okay. I love that so much. Yeah. So strength and rebirth going along with the new perception that you have going on. So yes, exactly, synchronicities. I think this next year has no limits for what it can do for you. It's what you are going to allow yourself to do. It's what you are going to allow yourself to say yes to. And because saying yes and affirming your dreams, affirming your developments like it is already yours, leads us into the affirmations deck. That is going to be where we are going to get our next message. So Spirit, please, what affirmation does my beautiful collective here need to carry on with into their new year? As the wheel changes and the earth is reborn again, what do they need to know? The same thing as yesterday. Childlike wonder. You have rebirth. You have the hangman having a new perspective and having a sense of innocence again. And childlike wonder coming out right away. It is often said that comparison is the thief of joy, which can be true, but perhaps what robs us even more of pure, unbounded joy is familiarity. How beautiful, how wondrous is the world when we see it for the first time. When we look at things through the wonder and awe of a child's eye. We notice all the miraculous things we so often take for granted. When we look with not just our eyes, but with our hearts, suddenly the air becomes crisper, the leaves become greener, the oceans become deeper, and life becomes fuller. When you allow yourself to just enjoy life, to see it as an adventure, something that is entirely new, and you can explore and find out what it is and what is there. There are still wonders to enjoy. There are still adventures to be had. English is hard, apparently, when you're channeling. So where are our adventures going to take us, Spirit? Enchanted map, old friend of mine. You have encouragement. Spirit is encouraging you. Thank you, Chi-Chi, for coming out. Whenever I see giraffes, I know it to be a member of my spirit team, Chi-Chi, which was my grandmother's best friend. And she actually passed away on my second birthday. And I think actually I was a little older. Maybe my third birthday. But Spirit would encourage you to go out there and, like a giraffe, see the world with a higher perspective, with a higher vantage point. Because there's a lot that we miss when we're so low to the ground, nose to the grindstone, focused on what we need to do and what we have to do. Come here. Intention. Where is your intention going to lead you in the new year? I love seeing eggs in this deck because when I see an egg, to me that is potential. That could become anything. You don't know what's in there. It could be a chicken. It could be a dragon. It could be a phoenix. It could be a snake. Whatever that is, whatever you're going to become, it's going to be fueled, underlaid, and the foundation based of it on your intentions. What are you truly trying to do with your time, energy, and life? So, like, people would say, like, what are your intentions here? Well, to help people. Like, that's just it. To help people. For people to know that they're not alone. That they, as much as they feel unseen, are not. And as much as they feel like the world has abandoned them, it hasn't. And when that imposter syndrome hits, I want them to know that someone understands. And yes, of course we will go through challenges. Yes, of course we will go through hard times in our lives, but it hasn't killed us so far, and this won't either. So if I can help people find that strength to go through their rebirth, to try and become the best version of themselves, then I would have done what I was supposed to do. For someone to help someone find their authenticity and what it means to truly be them. Because I know what it's like to have someone try and make you into something you're not. To try and follow a mainframe or a framework that was laid out by someone else. It doesn't feel right because it isn't right. It doesn't feel right because it's not supposed to be like that. You're not supposed to be your parents. You're not supposed to be your spouse. You're not supposed to be your children. You're supposed to be you. And everything that makes that whoever that is wonderful. As long as you don't hurt anybody, do whatever you want to do. You have Declutter that came out from the Wild Muse deck. But desk might be prevalent. You might need to declutter your desk. Declutter your workspace. If physical things have been bogging you down, and this might not even be something that you're aware of because, like, we get so used to our surroundings and our physical items becoming a comfort, becoming our identity, at least in my case it was, that to lose them we feel like we're losing ourselves. But I promise you, you are not your desk decoration. You are not the poster hanging on your wall. You're not the pop doll sitting on your bookshelf. You are something so much more than a mass-produced object. And removing that which does not actually serve you, removing that which does not actually make you happy, is a wonderful feeling because it releases the blockage that laid and had instilled in you and makes room for something else, something more beautiful, more desirable, and more needed in your life to come in. Spirit's blessings can't come in when you're sitting on all this negativity. Spirit's blessings can't come in when you're hanging on to all this trauma and all this hurt, because that makes up a physical space in your vessel, in your heart. And their blessings, their energy cannot come in when you are so blocked and crowded and focused on everything you don't have. The emotional baggage that we've all carried, and I'm not attacking anyone, I still have emotional baggage. We all do. It's a prerequisite for life. Like daddy issues, it's just a prerequisite for being alive. Everyone's got it. And everyone's is in a different shade of fucked. But that is why the earlier message was so much about healing. So much about growing and trying to become the next better version. That's the way to do it. Every step counts. Every step that you've taken, even ones that you feel like were a mistake, you gained something, you learned something, you met someone that you needed to know. Here's a little anecdote for that. When I was a child, I said I was going to be a nurse. That's what I wanted to be. That's what everyone said I should be. Because I cared about people and I wanted to make them feel better. I went to college. I became a CNA. And when I started working in the nursing home, it was horrible. It was the most abusive job I've ever had. And I was mentally, physically, and emotionally damaged and uh, abused by my nursing staff and residents. And so I couldn't be there anymore. And I felt for a while that like my time learning everything about the physical human body and how to care for someone was wasted until my family moved back to South Carolina at the end of 2022 and my aunt was passing from cervical cancer. We went to Georgia and spent about 2 weeks there, and I became her in home hospice nurse, taking care of all the linen changes, bed care, and anything else that she needed. Because of what I learned in that time of my life, I was able to help my family in a way that I would not have been able to had I not gone through that learning experience. It also taught me that while I do want to help heal people, and while I want to help make their lives better, I will not do it with a pill. I will do it with energy. And so every step that you've taken in your life, you've learned something. You were taught something, you shared something, met someone. Nothing has been for naught. Nothing was a mistake. Nothing was a coincidence and nothing was an accident. Every step along your journey counts because it was something you were destined to come across. And I'm not saying that like free will does not exist. Of course, you have free will. You have the free will to react to any situation. And I only say that because that's the response that I've gotten from everything happens for a reason. It's like, no, it doesn't. I have free will. You do have free will to respond to the situation as you will. And your response to the situation is very important. And I think that's another reason why we have the perspective change that we're getting in the Hangman that started all this out. I feel like the Wild Muse is done talking. I was shuffling that for a little bit and nothing was coming out. So let's see what the Star Temples has to say. So we've got this new perspective, this rebirth, this childlike wonder we're being asked to have, and encouraging our intentions to declutter, to release the emotional baggage that we've been holding on to. Spirit, what do the stars have to say? You have Artemis energy. The Pleiades light my quest to be wild and free. The Huntress is not one easily fucked with. Artemis was one of the bravest, most amazing goddesses of the Greek pantheon. I believe it's Greek. Artemis? Yeah, daughter of Zeus. Artemis would not bow to anyone. She was one of the only goddesses that remained a virgin through her entire life. And so, for the Huntress to come out, for you guys, it is very liberating because, I mean, look at how binding these two cards are. Well, yes, they are talking about new perspective and rebirth. There is a physical wall there. He's chained down here. There may have been felt like there were chains laid down around you that prevented you from moving forward, that prevented you from growing. These are all being broken, my love. These might be self-imposed or part of the emotional baggage that you were carrying around. In decluttering not only your physical world, but your mental world and your mental space, like, I mean, your brain is like a hard drive. There's only so much it can get, and there will be viruses if you store that toxic malware for too long. That's the easiest way I could explain trauma. It becomes a virus in your brain. But you have every bit of the power to release yourself. You have every bit of the strength to release yourself. I mean, come on. Her hand is on a dragon. One does not do that easily. If you were an idiot, that dragon would have roasted you from miles away. You wouldn't have even been near that dragon. But you've conquered that beast. You've taken control, taken your power back, and instead of being domineering and making that dragon subservient to you, you're working in peace and tandem with your energy, with your higher self, and with your ambition and your drive to become whatever it is you want to become. Because ego leads us to who we are on the outside world. Ego becomes who we push ourselves out to be. But so many people limit ego as everything that they are. And that's not true. You have the morning star, radiance. I shoot for the stars. Radiance is my birthright. I love when that card comes out because, I mean, it's just an awesome imagery. Like, this man is about to go on a Spartan cosmic battle. Like, that's just cool as fuck. But also the bravery, the assurance of I will become everything that I was meant to be. I will not let anything stop me. I will not let anything hold me back. That is a wonderful sense of power and just faith in yourself. Like, this is someone who's not held back by their fear. Someone who's not held back by their anger or being afraid to become something more. Because, like, there's the fear of failure. And of course that happens. But I think the fear of success stops people even more. Because when it comes to the fear of success, there's the fear of, I don't know who I'm going to be on the other side of this. I don't know what my world is going to look like. And I'm terrified by that. And I will be the first to admit that that fear held me back from sharing my world and story with you guys. Sharing my product and what I am making with you guys. It was exactly that self-limiting belief and fear of success. And I'm grateful of the work that I've done to overcome that and have more faith in myself and that I can aid people and I can help people out of their darkest times. But I understand how strong fear can pull upon someone. That was a cool little message. Does anyone watching have a question that they want to ask? Because I'm about to reset the space again. That was a really cool message. Continuing with the healing from the first one. The redirection and rebirth from this one. That is really cool. But shoot, Charms. Randy, I almost forgot. You didn't remind me. What wants to come out from the charms? Okay. I know what you are already. So we have the lion head that came out. This goes along with the strength card. Because in traditional readings, this card is represented by a woman with her hand on a lion. Actually, technically in the lion's mouth. But, so for that to come out again, you're fine, honey, you're fine. For that to come out again, this could be very much associated with your pride or your ability to take care of something or someone. Or maybe this is something that you are battling, too powerful of a pride. You have the clock, which came out. And for me, this is always about things will happen when they're supposed to. Because things will not always happen the way we want them to. Especially because we want things instantly. We want the instant gratification. We want the instant affirmation and approval that we did something right or that we did something good. But everything takes time to come to fruition because things have to be worked out and put into alignment. And our timeline and the spirit timeline very rarely correlate with each other. You have possibilities and treasures that came out because we have a gumball machine and a treasure chest that both came out. So you have endless possibilities for adventure, endless possibilities for Absolutely, Randy. Endless possibilities for where your life can go. You also had the little peace token that snuck out. So that is the charms message for the end of this part of the reading. Thank you. It was actually an idea that Mama and I got from Charmed Intuition Tarot here on YouTube. I really loved their reading style, their entire aesthetic, and everything about their channel. They were the first ones that we ever saw use a charm bag. And we're like, I love that. And we've taken trinkets from Michael's, little things that we found along our journey, small tokens, and just added it all in there. I also have my astrology decks, which I actually want to get out. Where? That's 2 of them. No, honey, you're still here. I'm going longer. That's just cleaning up that one. So Bug Lover, you're still here. I'm going longer than I did yesterday, so we're going to be doing another reading here in a minute. Randy asked for a card on love. So I'm going to just reset my energy so I can get that message out for them. So Bug Lover, you're not Oh, thank you. Where is fire stick? I keep losing my fire stick. There's my fire stick. Terror Destroyer, could you stop spamming that now, honey? I'm gonna just cleanse my space here. Thank you, Spirit, for helping us deliver the message that we needed to deliver today. Please help guide me to deliver a message from my friend Randy on the query that they have asked. Help me continue to deliver a message to the greater collective and throw... Sorry, I just read what you wrote. Please help me guide them through their challenges, the upheavals that they will face in their lives with peace, intuition, and kindness and love in their heart. Thank you, Spirit, for working with me. Thank you, Spirit, for working through me. Thank you for aligning, and thank you for providing. I'm so truly blessed and grateful to live in your light and energy. I love you, Spirit. Okay, so Randy wants to know about love. Now, if I could get a little more specific with you, Randy, is this on love wounds that want to be healed, or are you ready to be in a new relationship and you want to know about that energy? Because, of course, I'm not affluent enough to be able to, like, give you a name or letter, eye color, or anything like that. I can only offer you the general energy, but, like, what exactly are you wanting to know about love? Because, I mean, that's a pretty wide topic. This could be a sense of self-love. This could be developing a relationship with a really close friend that becomes your rock and grounding point. New relationship. New romantic relationship, I'm assuming. General energy. Okay. Okay, so Spirit. Randy's new relationship, general energy. What do you have for me, Spirit? Please give me a clear message. Please help me have the discerning and understanding to deliver the message that must be heard. That was a lot that came out right there, and I just want to make sure that it is for them. Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you. Okay. Okay. I do feel the I love me energy here, Randy, because you have these two cards, Queen of Pentacles and the Empress. And if there were two cards that embodied the power and authority of self-love, self-worth, and authenticity, it is the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles is the suit associated with Earth. And Earth is, I have everything right here in the physical. And the Queen of Pentacles has everything that she needs. She wants for nothing. The Empress is the only thing that would be above that, and she is the Queen of Fertility. She makes, creates, and thrives everything from her own world. You have some interesting cards that have come out. We have the Sun in reverse. And the Sun is about new opportunities, new beginnings. It's usually depicted with a child on the back of a horse. And in this image, she's facing away and in reverse. And that's kind of going along with the other imageries that you have here with the Four of Cups and Seven of Swords, also in reverse. The traditional Four of Cups is someone being presented with someone or something that they're not exactly aware of. They're so focused on these three cups down here that they don't see that there's something that they're missing from their own energy and aura that is being offered. For it to be in reverse, I feel like that is... you might not be accepting of where the energy is coming from. Because there may have been a betrayal here. Because the Seven of Swords in reverse, this is usually depicted as someone stealing swords away from an army's, a nation's armory. And there are several reasons why that could be. Someone could be manipulative over the war and trying to make sure people aren't fighting so that their other side can win. There are some people that have stolen the swords so people don't have to fight and they can work things out. With it in reverse here, I feel like whatever has caused this ignorance to... now, don't get scared by that word, love, because ignorance simply means something you don't know. And it might be attached to someone that is offering emotions to you. Not everyone can change, but there are people who can and are willing to do work. I'm not saying that it is your job to fix anyone. I am not saying that every broken person you find becomes your pet project to put back together. That is not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that people have made mistakes in their lives, and not everyone deserves to be punished their entire life for a mistake that they made when they were younger. And so, through the healing that that person has done, and okay, I'm not saying that you have to, that this applies to whatever person you're saying that about, but there are some people who are wanting to grow. Where can I get another message? I think, okay. Spirit, I see sort of what is coming out here for Randy, but can the Shamanic Medicine Oracle deck give me a little clarity for what this upset was from? Okay, sorry, love. Okay, so we have the cave that came out again, retreat. Maybe someone removed their energy for a while because they had a lot of work to do. Or maybe that's what you're doing now. You're removing your energy from other people's because there's something you need to work through or are going through currently, because we have the lower world past as well as the retreat. Because when people begin, yeah, I get that. When people begin to do their astral projection and go to, like, their sacred tree to realm travel, it is often said that the lower world, or the underworld as it is called, begins with a cave. So for you to have both of these here and the bones for casting, the message of divination and journey, imagination, Randy, you might have some very powerful gifts when it comes to not only divination, but astral projecting and astral healing. And so the seed, the source of whatever this mistrust, this upset, this blindness is coming from, you might find in your astral work. Because the lower world is represented. Oh, give me just a second, love. I need to grab something. Ooh. I'm so glad I got up because I missed a card for you, but I will get to that in a second. So, this symbol here is how the worlds are described. This circle here is the lower world. This is the upper world, and this is the middle world. The lower world is where our ancestors, people who have returned to the earth, preside. That's why it's so often depicted as a hell realm or the underworld where people are suffering forever. That's not what's happening. Their energy is with the earth, and no one is suffering, no one is in pain. The upper world, this one up here, is the realm of the gods, of the archangels, divine masters, our higher self. That is what it resides in the upper world. And this little space where they overlap is the middle world, or where we reside in the mundane world, here. So the source of this blockage may come from a family situation, a generational curse, they're often called, if it is something that has been repeated over and over again. And so that is part of, come here, little card. That is part of the journey that you'll be going on, love, is overcoming a generational curse, mistakes, or a repeating pattern that has happened in your life. Maybe you'll end up with someone who is entirely different from every other person that you've dated, or every other person that your family has ever liked or wanted you to be with. Maybe you'll go in a different path and marry differently than the way your parents did and their parents did. Shifting and truly making your life your own, and you will be blessed in that, because the card that came out with the pastel tarot was the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, ain't we all, honey? The Wheel of Fortune came out for you, and I'm so happy that it did, because that literally means you will be blessed again and again and again. But like a wheel, there will be high times and there will be low times. This person that you will meet when you're both ready will be a rock through those hard times, and will be your sunshine during those happy times. That's why you have the sun, but in reverse, and as the card is turned away, you guys might just be passing each other right now, and you're not quite ready to be at that level of commitment and openness with someone, because you still have healing to do, because you still have work to go through. And I think that's also why the divination card has come out, because you are not at your best. You are not at your greatest and highest. And it wouldn't be fair to yourself or the other person for you to just be there and still have so much more work to do. And of course, you will always have work to do, but there's a certain level of healing that must be done to ensure that you're not going to ruin this relationship with messy emotions that have not found their root yet. So let's see what the dice have to say. We have Sagittarius energy. So you might be a Sagittarius, you might have Sagittarius in your chart, or they might have Sagittarius in their chart. Perhaps it's going to be something akin to Cupid's arrow striking. You have the number 10, which is the number of completion. This person might come around exactly when you've completed something, when you've completed part of your spiritual journey, when you've completed part of your path. I am an Aries. Okay. Well, you're not just an Aries. You have a sun sign, which you're probably born either end of March, early April. Then you have your moon and your rising sign, and all of these signs have an influence on who you are. Your natal chart is sort of like the unique recipe book that you were made with, and it's just the ingredients list, and you decide what you're going to do with those ingredients. You can make a cake or you can make some bread. It's up to you what you're actually doing with that. And I need to look at a reference for this other one that came out. You have Pluto energy. That had come out. Pluto is the card of transformation, extreme power, death, rebirth, and evolution. I certainly think that fits. And don't be scared when someone says death. Death never means a physical death. It just means change. It means rebirth. Something is shifting and becoming something new. So, Randy, I feel like, of course, you can focus your energy on bringing in this new person, but I think it will be a lot better if you focus on yourself and the healing that you're doing, trying to make yourself a more powerful, better version every single day. And when things are ready and your journey meets, you will find an amazing counterpart to walk through this world with. And they will love you. They will treat you like the king or queen that you are. And you won't have to worry or feel any of that insecurity anymore, because you would have built enough trust in yourself and trust in that person that it's going to fit just right. I hope you enjoyed that, Randy. Does anyone else have a question that they want to ask before I start doing another collective reading? You are a goddess. Yes, queen. Well, that explains the Empress and Queen of Pentacles energy that had come out, Randy. Second time that one's wanted to come out. So, for anyone watching, thank you, honey. For anyone watching, I don't charge for any of these. I'm just getting started with these live streams, and I'm just getting comfortable with them. So if anyone has a question that they want to ask, go ahead, type it down there, and I will do my very best. And if not, we will just get started with a new collective reading once I drink some water and reset myself. I hope everyone's having a good holiday. And you're taking some time for yourself, because as we were discussing earlier, it's really easy to get overwhelmed during this time of year. Thank you, honey. And so it's perfectly okay to take 5 minutes to yourself if you need to just get away. Bug Lover, are you still here, beautiful? Did you want to ask something again? I don't want to make you cry again, but if you have something, let me know. Spirit, please cleanse these cards from any energy that does not seek to serve the greatest and highest good of the collective that I read for. Spirit, please uplift my vibe and energy so I'm a clear conduit to deliver the message that must be heard by the greatest and highest good of the collective. Thank you, Spirit, for working with me. Thank you, Spirit, for working through me. Thank you for aligning and thank you for providing. I'm so truly blessed and grateful to live in your light and energy. Spirit may have the eyes to see, may have the ears to hear, may have the heart to heal, may have the throat to speak, and may have the wisdom to discern your message as is needed to be told. Thank you, Spirit, for working with me. Thank you, Spirit, for working through me. I'm so truly blessed and grateful to live in your light and energy. I love you. Well, you don't have to force something, hun. If you don't have a question, you don't have a question, and you can just ride along with the collective message. Man. I lost my blanket. I need my blanket to cover my legs. I require being cozy. Anyone else do that? Like, the room itself could be hot, but I'm not comfortable unless I have a blanket on top of me. Probably something from my womb mentality. Thank you, Spirit, for helping me reach people who needed to hear my words and help bring some kindness and heart back to this world. Okay, I won't put you back. So the first card that it came out again. See, everyone in this house loves the, like, Arctic Circle. I don't know why I had such a brain fart there. Everyone has like 4 fans on all the time, and I can't stand it. I get so cold. Hello, Zhao. The first card that came out was Strength. And that had come out earlier. So, I love when cards reappear, because it just affirms that the message was the message. So strength will be needed in our next coming year. But what else? We can't just be headstrong and move. Okay. So we have the Ace of Wands, which came back. The Ace of Wands is about a new opportunity in passion, because wands represents fire, and fire represents our passion, what gets us out of bed in the morning, what keeps us going when things get hard. Something may be presented to you that helps you live in your passion, and it will require some strength. But this defensiveness that comes with the Nine of Wands, this defensive, wounded mentality of, I have been hurt before and I'm not going to let someone come back and hurt me again, is not going to help you. Not every single person you meet will hurt you. Not every single person you meet will try to destroy you. I mean, there is literally blood running from those wands right there. Like, there has been a lot of hurt, and I'm like, my man's here is not doing too well either. So, of course, there are things that we've gone through in this life where it felt like it was absolutely beating us down. But hanging on to that is going to prevent this new opportunity from coming into you, because there's something to be celebrated. And I have to be careful when presenting this one because it's got parts on there. This is 3 women celebrating, holding their cauldrons up to the Awen, which was also represented here. And the Awen is inspiration. The Awen is the gift of creation. And the 3 of cauldrons, the 3 of cups, is usually depicted by people celebrating together over, like, they're drinking wine together. There's a sense of celebration and camaraderie that's coming in. So this new opportunity may bring you people who will support you, people who will uplift you and celebrate and want to see your success purely because they want to see you succeed. No ulterior motives, no bad thoughts of their own of trying to take away from you what you have worked for. Very divine, masculine, ambitious energy. So let's touch on the divine feminine and see what they have to say. We have Queen Esther. I'll take care of the puppy, Randy. The Queen Esther, Morning Star. My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. Exactly what I was saying earlier about how every person, well, not, I won't say every person, most people think that their ego is all that makes them who they are. That's because that is what they push to the forefront of the world to see. But it is only a facet of who you are. It is a masquerade that you put on so the world doesn't see your most vulnerable self. It does not need to go out of control, though. If it is in service of your soul, if it is in service of your soul's mission here, it has reason, it has validity, and it will not get out of control in that instance. I trust my soul's divine timing. So that is in reference to the higher self, the part of your soul that is still attached to the source realms. And with that comes a lot of humbleness of, I may not know exactly what the answer is, but my soul knows where I need to be. And this is where trusting your intuition comes in. The intuition is seated right here in your solar plexus chakra. That is your direct channel to your higher self. And it may not make sense in the moment, but your intuition, especially when you recognize what that voice sounds like, will help you out of the hardest situations because it will tell you what you need to know. So, what does the divine abundance have for us? You have faith that came out. Miraculously, amazingly, everything I need always comes to me. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I imagined. Well, that is so beautiful because, like, that sense of faith, that sense of love gives power to so much. And that power is not something... Sorry, I just paused. I just remembered something that I was supposed to do today, but completely overlooked because of what day it was. I have to message someone later. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Help me get back to this. Miraculously, amazingly, everything I need always comes to me. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I imagine. The faith in yourself and in your higher self comes with the love. That you will be okay, that you will be provided for, that this hurt will not happen again because you've laid down boundaries. And opening yourself up to love again, opening yourself up to the opportunity of friendship, of community, of people to share the world with. That is not only beautiful, but an amazing testament to how much you've grown and how much you've developed. The strength that you have in yourself to overcome an obstacle that may have been there for a very long time because of the extent of the hurt. I mean, everyone is fighting a battle no one knows anything about. And it's so easy to just judge someone on the surface without knowing what's caused it. So I never want to dissuade or dispel anyone's experience or what anyone feels like they need to do. You have the Grounded card that came out. Most of the most evolved beings on Earth are regular folks living with joy, dignity, and courage. Living with the joy, dignity, and courage. And I think that just goes back to, like, the energy of this entire reading. Just getting back to actually enjoying life. And that is the point of our soul, is to learn what we needed to learn when we came here. And, like, beauty, strength, and pleasure, all are my rights. That is a lyric from I Hear You Calling. A wonderful song, actually. I love I love listening to that one. It's like an 8-minute song, but it's so worth it. It's from the perspective of a goddess. And she's always saying, like, I hear you calling out to me. I hear you reaching out to me when in your times of need, in your darkest hour. I hear you, I see you, and you are always in my heart. You are always in my energy. I think faith that you're being heard above all else is what's important right now, because if you've walked through this life feeling completely alone, if you've walked through feeling like the world has abandoned you, it makes sense why you're so jaded, why you're so protective of yourself and your own energy, because you don't want to get hurt like that again. But you are more protected and more watched over than you know. And when you call out to them, when you call out to your spirit team, when you call out to the people that are watching over you, their power comes in so much stronger and clearer, because, I mean, we live in the realm of free will. They can't do anything in our life without our permission. You have expansiveness. Eternity is far more creative than the rigid constraint and exhausted ego. Stop trying to control everything. Like the ego that Esther is talking about, let it be in service of your soul, not in control of it, in service of it. Let your ego be a part of who you are, but not the entirety, because you're so much more than that, my love. Let's see, what does the Star Temple want to say? And then if I remember, I will do charms. You have Athuesa, Sun Goddess. Okay, so let me explain this real quick, Bug Lover, and then I absolutely will. Athuesa, Sun Goddess, lift off. I open my senses to feel delicious pleasure and passion. Get back to enjoying life again. Get back to enjoying the life that you're working so hard for again. Because when you're working so hard and focusing on what you need to do, you never actually pause and slow down and actually enjoy everything that you're working on. And that is one thing that the ego does. It puts us so far into the work mentality that we have to do, more, get, that we can't just be and enjoy everything that we're working on. So, like, the culmination of this is get back to just enjoying your life and understand that miraculously, amazingly, everything will come. I can dream about you. So, with that, Bug Lover, Spirit uses anything and everything to speak to us. It could be from a physical means of a reader like myself, or subtle means through your everyday life, like an image on someone's shirt that pertains to something that you were talking about, or a song that plays on a loop. That could be a message from someone on your spirit team. That could be a message from someone that you're going to meet in your life, or just the lyrics of that song are important. I don't know that song. It's not one that I've heard before, but I would say sit and listen to what the words are really saying, because so often we just sing words and we don't actually put like the backing and information that, like, understanding what those words are, and we just say them. So, like, for me, when I get a song randomly stuck in my head, it's usually because there's a message pertaining to that I needed to hear, or there's something about that energy that I need to embody in the next phase or challenge that of my life that I will go through, or maybe it's simply just a reminder. I can dream about you. So that could be, I don't know if you've ever tried lucid dreaming, Maybe it's hinting that you will have a gift or an aptitude in that. That could just be shooting in the dark, though. But I'd say if the song had a special meaning to someone that has passed, that could be them trying to talk to you. I'm guessing you were not born in the early 80s. I was born in 2000, so it could certainly be a message from someone on your spirit team that has passed on and they were from that era and that was something that they listened to, or just the song itself has a message. Let me pull a card on it for you. Spirit, what direction is Bug Lover's spirit team trying to give them for this song that they keep hearing? Thank you, Sacred Gifts. So the two cards that they gave me, Bug Lover, are Coming Apart and Magic Prayer. Things have to come apart to come back together, because if they work or live out of alignment, they have to come and fall apart to come back into alignment. And with Magic Prayer, exactly what I was going back to with paying attention to the words of a song before you're singing them. Everything that you're singing and saying is a spell or a prayer to the universe, and it comes back. Call it karma, law of threefold, law of attraction, whatever you want to call it. It is true and real for each and every one of us. And so there might be a line in that song that you need to repeat, because I do that all the time. There's a line in the song Affirmation that I just sing when I'm cleansing the decks. I did it earlier today. Oh, okay. So it could be taking you back to a time period where you originally heard that then. Because that's something that happened with my mom recently, was that she was listening to music and it was reminding her of when she was in band, in school. And that brought up a lot of, excuse me, I'm so sorry. It brought up a lot of painful memories from her childhood that she was then able to work out and come to peace with. And she's been doing a lot of that, and I'm very proud of her. But in that instance, absolutely, Zhao. Just give me just a moment, love. In that instance, I'd say, since that song has a personal meaning in your life, I'd say look back in your life when that song was relevant, when it had so much oomph and power in your world. And there might be something related to that situation that's important. So that's what I will say about that, Bug Lover. Zhao, can you just confirm for me that you're still here, love? Zhao, I need you to take. I'm happy that helped, honey. Zhao, can you just say yes or something if you're still here? So I just wanna make sure that you're here for your card. Zhao, if you want a card, love, I'm gonna need to see that you're still here. Because when you came in earlier, it kind of looked like you just left right after asking. Okay, well, if they're not going to reconfirm, let's do one more collective message and see where that gets us. Because That'll take me to about 2 hours, and I feel like that's a good stopping point for this. So, Spirit, what is the last message you want us to see? We have the Chariot that came out. Now, the Chariot is what leads you into the next adventure. I often refer to my dogs as the Chariot because it's traditionally depicted with a white horse and a black horse leading the charge with the rider in the carriage. And I have a gray dog and a black dog, and they just fit the energy. And so there will be quite a ride that we're going on in this next year. So everyone buckle up and grab your butts, because it's going to be a wild one. But we're going to be happy at the end of it. 10 of Cups. Absolute emotional fulfillment at the end of the journey. Yes, can we just affirm that, please, Spirit? I claim my emotional fulfillment. I claim my emotional stability. Please, give me more of that. We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. No longer ignoring the blessings that are there for us. No longer ignoring the opportunities that we have to heal and take care of ourselves. Or that we have something being offered to us. We're not ignoring that anymore. And I love that so very much. We have Seven of Pentacles. We can sit there and watch and look over everything that we've created. Happy and content. What a lovely wrap up to today's reading. So let's get Wild Muse, because this is my Yas Queen Oracle deck. Actually, I think I have 2 Yes Queens Oracle decks. I'm gay as fuck. You have Stormy and Claim Your Energy. So while the storm is crashing down, the world might be falling apart right now, it will clear. The sun will shine again, and you will be able to reclaim yourself brand new after everything has gone away. After everything seemingly has melted, fallen apart, you will be able to reclaim your energy again. And start with that now. Start pulling your energy back to you. Start reclaiming, re-empowering, and re-owning yourself and your own energy, because we just give it away so often. We give away our time. We give away our energy. We give away our blessings to people because we think we have to, because we think our power lies outside of us, and that simply is not true. But this next coming year is going to be amazing for us because of the work that we have done, the healing that we have gone through, and just overcoming our biggest challenges. Let's get an affirmation. Okay, I will take both of these. Ooh, I am starting. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. I just had a lot of pressure behind my third eye here. I'm definitely going to have to wrap up soon, because the difference between doing my oracles every day, that takes about 2 to 3 hours to do, and doing this is that I'm not taking those breaks in between when I can like pull myself out of the energy, and I am fairly new to channeling like this, so I think I just got a little overwhelmed and my head started hurting, but I'm alright. I'm going to take the advice of this card and breathe. The Breathe card states, "Beautiful one, you are here. Take a deep breath in and allow your entire body to simply be. Amidst the noise, amidst the chaos, amidst the confusion that is the outside world, a steady peace that has been there with you all along, right inside of your very being, just waiting for you to discover its power and the strength that it holds within you. When was the last time you allowed yourself to notice the way your chest rises and fills with each inhale, the way it releases and softens with each exhale? Notice, gorgeous one, this is your greatest power, so accessible and yet so easily overlooked." Your greatest power, claiming your energy. The other card that came out for you is Connect. Drop in. Allow the outside world to melt away. Notice your body. How does it feel? Can you relax your bones just a little bit deeper? Notice your mind. Are your thoughts alive and racing? Can you slow them down, perhaps a little bit more? Sit in this stillness for just a moment longer. Notice your heart. What does it say? Can you let it grow just a little bit louder? Connect to this guidance, for it will never lead you astray. You have all of the answers and blessings inside of you, and you're aware of them now. You're not overlooking the stability and the security. Thank you. The security that is coming from yourself. This is not something you're overlooking anymore, and I love that so very much. What does the Divine Abundance have to say for our coming year of prosperity, of enjoyment and bliss? We have your path. Dear Lord, please help me trust that there is a plan far beyond what I can see through my fears and illusions. This goes back to the faith that we were having earlier. That there is a reason for everything that you have gone through. That there is a purpose for the suffering that you have experienced, the loneliness that you have carried. There is something that is worth all the work that you have done. And when you see it, when you are able to grasp it in your hands, you will know in your heart what it was all for. Okay, we have detachment that came out. With detachment, you can finally feel whole inside. With or without the fulfillment of a particular enough, that is when it is fulfilled. Exactly. When you detach from this storm, detach from this energy that everything has to come at a price, or everything that has to come is conditional. You don't have to meet a certain requirement or criteria to have soul fulfillment. It's already yours to claim. It's already your power to own. And once you realize that it's all yours, once you realize that there's nothing holding you back but what you say you can do, your path is limitless. We have Pluto energy again with the rebirth, the death, the cycle, again and again. The completion of that cycle with the 10. And then you have Taurus energy. I don't know if anyone in here is a fellow Taurus, but I can speak for the collective of us and say that we are a stubborn lot, and we will never give up once we have our eyes set on what it is that we want. We might change our course, we might redirect, but we will never stop, because our happiness is worth it. Our peace is worth it, and the love of our lives is worth all of the struggle that we would go through to achieve it. But I am going to wrap up there, you guys, because I am really starting to feel a little lightheaded, and I need to take some quiet time for myself. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I love engaging with you guys and interacting. I'm so happy I could give some of you guys a personal message, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the collective message and you resonated with it some. This is something that I am going to continue to do. I can't promise that I'm going to do it every day, but I do enjoy doing these live streams, and I hope to see you guys back here on some days. Tomorrow, I hope to get back to my regular daily oracle messages of doing the 12 zodiacs every single day with one oracle message. It's a lot more direct, focused on the energy of the single sign, as opposed to the collective of anyone who will come in or possibly see this down the line, because these will be saved on my channel for you to go back and rewatch later if you want to. But I love you guys so very, very much. Thank you so much for being here with me. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to whatever holiday you celebrate. I hope you're enjoying it and taking care of yourself. If you're with your family, hope you're enjoying that time. And if they're getting a little too much, don't be afraid to walk away and say, you know what? I'm going to just go hug the dog and not talk to anyone for a little bit. That's perfectly fine too. You, my loves, my beautiful souls, are gifts, are treasures, and are necessary people we need in this world. So please go out and be your beautiful, most amazing, dysfunctional self because you are an absolute gem and no one can be you but you. And you didn't come here to be anyone else. So go out, live your soul shine, and find out what makes you who you are because it's beautiful, it's wonderful, and I love every bit of it. Have a great night, my guys, my dudes.